All right, let's talk about rider safety. For years, the entire conversation around it has really been about one thing: detection. Can we see the car? But what if just seeing the car isn't enough anymore? That's what we're going to dive into today with Project Polaris. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a completely different way of thinking about safety tech. We're moving beyond simple awareness to something much more powerful: absolute trust.
Look, we know this space inside and out. Why? Because we pretty much built it. That 60% you see there, that's our global market share in rear radar. Our tech is the industry standard that you're all familiar with. We're the ones who made rear radar a non-negotiable piece of kit for cyclists everywhere. But here's the thing. Setting a standard is great, but you can't just sit on it. The market's grown up, right? And the big question for engineers like us isn't just, can it detect a car anymore? The real challenge now is, can I be 100% sure this thing is actually working when it matters most? It's all about building that unbreakable trust. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at the current standard, the one we made. Then we'll get into a pretty serious problem we call the trust gap. After that, I'll introduce you to Polaris, walk you through its 3 core pillars of innovation, and show you how it all leads to achieving what we call total trust. All right, first up, the detection standard. This is our home turf. We pioneered the tech that brought real situational awareness to millions of riders. And, it was a total game changer at the time. But, and this is a big but, that standard has a hidden flaw, a really dangerous one actually. It creates this gap between when a rider thinks they're safe and when they actually are. And for anyone here engineering a safety product, this is where things get very, very interesting. So let's really chew on this question from an engineer's point of view. Imagine your product. It's on, the light is blinking, it's paired with the head unit, everything looks good to go. The user gets a green light. But what if its eye, the actual sensor, is completely blocked? What then? And this right here, this is the problem in a nutshell. On the left, you've got the assumption. The cyclist feels safe, they think their radar is watching their back. But on the right, that's the reality. A seat pack, a rain jacket, something as simple as that has completely blinded the sensor. The system is still on, it's still drawing power, but it sees nothing. We call that a silent failure. Technically speaking, what we're talking about here is an open-loop system. And you all know what that is, right? It just shouts into the void and assumes it's being heard. There's no feedback loop to confirm its own performance. It just assumes it's working. And when you're talking about safety, assuming is probably the most dangerous word in an engineer's vocabulary. So, that's the problem, and this is the solution. Project Polaris was designed from the ground up to solve exactly this issue. Don't think of it as just a next-gen sensor. It's way more than that. It's a self-aware safety core, built specifically to eliminate that trust gap for good. And here it is, the Polaris FM11F22 module. Everything we're about to get into is built on 3 key pillars. And these aren't just marketing terms. They're designed to solve real problems for your customers and for your design teams.
So, what are these pillars? Unmatched performance, breakthrough efficiency, and total design freedom. Now, let's get into the good stuff, the actual specs.
Okay, pillar 1, performance. We didn't just nudge the numbers here, we blew past them. Range, we boosted that by 35%, all the way out to 190 meters. We can track 25% more objects at once, which, is huge in busy traffic. And check this out, we bumped up the max relative velocity by 50%. So yeah, it can handle even the fastest cars on the road without breaking a sweat. These are not small tweaks. This is a whole new level of capability.
Now for efficiency. Every single engineer knows the pain of power budgets. It's a constant fight. So, with Polaris, we built in what we call an adaptive gear-shifting architecture. Think about it. When there are no cars around, it kicks into this super low-power sentry mode. It's just listening. But the second it detects a threat, bam, it instantly shifts into a high-power track mode. It's smart. And the result? It cuts power consumption by up to 50%. For you, that translates directly into smaller batteries, lighter products, and better designs. And that incredible efficiency leads us right to the 3rd pillar, design freedom. The whole module is tiny, just 38.6 by 14.5 millimeters. That's 15% smaller. You can just imagine what your industrial design teams can do with that. They can create stuff that's sleeker, more integrated, things that just weren't possible before. And to make your lives a whole lot easier, we deliver Polaris as a complete front-end module, a FEM. What does that mean for your team? It means you don't have to lose your minds over antenna design and RF tuning. We've done the hard part. You get to focus on your magic, building an amazing product and user experience.
Okay, so we've got killer performance, insane efficiency, but none of that matters if the user can't trust it, right? So now we get to the heart of it. Let's see how Polaris actually closes that loop and kills the silent failure problem for good.
We live by this idea. I mean, think about it. A safety system that doesn't know if it's broken is, well, fundamentally flawed. It's incomplete. Polaris is the first system in this entire market that's actually built on the principle of self-awareness.
So how do we pull this off? It's something we call intelligent optical path monitoring. It's really clever. The radar is basically multitasking. Its main job, of course, is scanning way down the road for cars. But in between those scans, it takes a quick look at itself, a near-field check, to make sure nothing is blocking its view. It's constantly asking itself one simple question: is my vision clear? And we do all this using time division multiplexing.
And if the answer to that question is no, it doesn't just fail silently. Polaris speaks up. It gives the user clear automotive-grade feedback. It'll say, hey, everything's normal. Or maybe, performance is degraded. Or, and this is the big one, critical. My sensor is blocked. Check your taillight. The user is never left in the dark. That false sense of security, it's gone.
So what does all this mean for you and your product roadmap? Simple. Speed. You come to us with your concept. We give you our accelerator kit. It's got a mature SDK, proven reference designs, the whole shebang. And it gets you from idea to market-ready product way faster. It lets your best engineers focus on innovating, not on reinventing the wheel.
All right, let's wrap this up with a quick side-by-side. You look at the current market, then you look at Polaris. The detection capabilities, way beyond. Power efficiency, slashed by 50%. Form factor, super compact. And the absolute game changer, true end-to-end system integrity. For the first time ever, the risk of silent failure is off the table.
And that really leaves us with just one question. It's the question every product manager, every engineer in this space needs to be asking themselves right now. Because the standard for rider safety has fundamentally changed. So the choice is yours. Is your next product going to be based on yesterday's standard, or are you going to build it on the new one?